Mr. Chair, members of the board, in your packet, you've got a letter from Davenport that outlines the county has 3 capital projects that it has been working on since 2015 that we have considered financing through the New Market Tax Credit Program through People Inc. Those projects include the Rusty Jeffries Elementary School renovation, renovations to the Health and Human Services Complex to include the Brighter Futures Alternative Education Program and the Registrar's Office, and the replacement for Vermont Fire Station. Estimated costs of the projects include Rusty Jeffries, $5,374,198, the Health and Human Services Complex, $2,698,588, and the Vermont Fire Station, up to $7 million. The county has been setting aside funding for the Rusty Jeffries project, and at this point only needs to borrow approximately $725,000 to fully fund it. The county also has been included funding in the current 18-19 budget for debt service for the Health and Human Services and Vermont Fire Station projects. While the New Market Tax Credit Program has the potential to significantly reduce the debt service costs to the county, we've been unsuccessful to date in qualifying our projects. We continue to talk with People Inc. about the Vermont Fire Station project, and there's a copy of a letter in your packet from Mr. Phipps from People Inc. But with the emphasis shifting to the tax credits for permanent job creation, it looks less and less likely. Sands Anderson has prepared and attached a proposed resolution to be considered by the Board of Supervisors. Ted Cole of Davenport and Jesse Bowles from Sands Anderson are here this evening to answer any questions. With the proposed resolution, we've kept open the option for tax credits, again, but we're not counting on them to be able to complete the project. And with that said, I'd like to ask Mr. Ted Cole to come up and talk about the proposal.
Good evening. Good evening. I'll just tag on to what the county administrator shared, and there is a resolution for your consideration that, just as Doug said, simply keeps the options open for funding these projects, whether it be with new market tax credits, if that is able to come together, or alternatively, maybe more traditional tax-exempt financing through one of the state programs, Virginia Resources Authority, which is a program you all have used before. And there was one omission in my memo, the potential for the Virginia Public School Authority, which is another state program for school projects, or bank financing. So we're going to sort of dual track this, looking, or maybe 3 tracks, new market tax credits, 1 or 2 of the state programs, or bank financing, to try to maximize the borrowings in terms of lowest interest rate, most flexibility in terms and conditions, and locking in rates for the term of the debt that line up best with the resources that staff has begun to set aside to repay this debt. They have been setting aside dollars in the budget, or earmarking dollars in the budget, to be prepared for this new debt service when it does come online. So I think the resolution just simply acknowledges that we may be going down any one of these paths, and we'll be back to you all before any definitive decisions have been made or any plan of finance is memorialized. I would only suggest that maybe, if it is your desire to approve the resolution, we add, in addition to the VRA pool, that we also add in the VPSA, Virginia Public School Authority pool, just in case we need to go that route for the school projects, or the element of the projects that are related to public schools. The last thing I'll say is, on any of these options, the state programs or the bank financing, we should have all of this put to bed by the May timeframe. Your projects, in some cases, are completed, so you would just simply be reimbursing yourselves for some of that cost. And in the Rivermont Fire Station case, you bid that project, or you're in the process of doing that, we would borrow the money, and then you would have that money available when construction costs come due. Any questions?
Anyone have a question?
I was going to mention that from what I understand, the new market tax credits are off the table. This isn't going to happen.
Yeah, and there was the letter there from the People's Inc. It sounded like there was a challenge related to the census tract and how that was lining up with certain wealth levels or low income factors, and as Mr. Stanley said as well, with new job creation. So I think, you know, maybe there's a glimmer of hope there, but it wasn't a terribly encouraging letter about let's only focus on that option. We wanted to make sure these other options were in play for you all to decide the best option to go with.
Anyone else?
I have one question. Just to be clear, the estimated borrowing amount's going to be the 10-4, since we got most of it paid for, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay.
We would not be borrowing for that portion roughly the 4.6. We ran that both ways, and it didn't make sense to borrow for the full RESI project cost, just the incremental piece.
So we'd be borrowing $725 approximately for the Resi Jeffers.
Correct, that's right. About $725, the full project amount for Health and Human Services and the full project amount for the Rivermont, all pushed together in the range of about $10.5 million.
Thank you. Any other questions? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the Board of Supervisors adopt the attached resolution to approve the request to authorize Davenport to proceed with identification of funding options to include a VRA bond application plus BPSA and solicitation of funding proposals from financial institutions with the Resi Jeffers Health and Human Services Complex and Rivermont Fire Station projects as outlined.
Second.
Okay, we have a second. Ms. Mons, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Carter?
Aye.
Ms. Gladys? Aye. Mr. Chairman?
Aye.
Mr. Sayer?
Aye.
Mr. Fox?
Aye. The motion passes. Thank
Thank
you
you
very
very
much.
much. We'll see you in another meeting.
Thank you.